There we go. Okay, we're going to take a look at the GoG eNMEy Regulator today. We have both versions. Got the revised top and then the older top here. Very similar on the outside. I don't know if there's actually a difference. So let's get into both of these. The first thing you're going to want to do is get at the C-clip here on the bottom. So you need yourself a pair of these guys. You can also do it with picks. It's a little harder. This C-clip tends to... This is rusty. This C-clip tends to stretch, plastically deform, so you don't want to stretch it too much, just enough to get it over the lip. We're going to take both of these apart side by side just so we can do them both in one video. And if you're following along, it'll give you a chance to stay along. So this is our updated version, and this is the older version here. Let's pull the bottom off. Then the majority of it is going to be taken through the bottom on the new one. So you need a pair of flats, enormous pair. So this is going to come off just by unscrewing. Have an O-ring in here. And then you have your piston in the bottom. Get yourself a pair of needle nose, or you can whack it on the table. We'll try that first. There's your spring. Delicately fish that out. Have your rig seat on top there. Piston. And then there's nothing left in the bottom of the new one. So we're going to go back to the top. 5/32 Allen. There's a spring in here for the relief, so don't want to lose that. And this is your relief package here for protect from over pressurization. You have your little piston guy there. This is dirty. And that is the end. So, got that guy disassembled. Let's move on to this guy, and then we'll put one aside after we get the differences. This is the older version with the older relief. Very similar. Looks like we've got a different colored spring and a different reg seat in this guy. Maybe it was replaced more recently. And then our safety is in the bottom on this guy. Same 5/32 Allen. Same assembly. Oh, there it is. But accessed through the other side. You're going to want to be careful. You got a washer and a stem. Ooh, it looks like they updated the parts, made it into a single unit on the newer one, which is nice. I believe that's, oh, yep, and there's an O-ring in the bottom. So it looks like what they did is they built the O-ring into this piece here. Put the O-ring into this piece instead of recessing it into the bottom there. So let's get that guy out. Just remember that these reliefs need to be serviced as well, otherwise they could start venting early, like venting at actual operating pressures. So this is a 006, way down in there. This guy's looking pretty clean compared to the other one. Yeah, so on the older style, there's absolutely nothing reached from the top portion. On the newer one, the safety is accessed from the top there. So let's get our swab in there. And we'll start reassembly. Let's get a 006 to put in there. Drop him in. Okay, that guy just sits at the bottom. This brass washer is just gonna fall in on top, and then this is gonna go small end in down. Oh yeah, got lucky. And then we're just gonna wanna replace this O-ring. I pull the spring out so it doesn't fall out on me. We've got a number 10 on here, so let's grab a 010 to replace it. What I did forget to do is put a little lube on the end of there. Put our brass puck in, slide our pin back in, get that seated nicely. Our spring can go in. It just sits on our pin. Oh yeah, that's a good view. And then lube up our outer O-ring here before this gets reassembled. Yeah. Get our 5/32 Allen. Make sure the spring is captured in there. Kind of overcome that spring pressure and reassemble. Okay. Now that we've redone the old safety, we're gonna just go to one regulator. So we'll move the old one off to the side. We'll get to that later, so we're not redoing stuff in this video. Let's service the new style relief. I bought a bunch of enemies from a field, and it definitely shows. I mean, they're not bad by any means, but when you let brass sit with corrosion and moisture, it does this over time. So I'm guessing they didn't change this one. It's a 006. Yep. Put our new one in there. Let's lube it before we stick it in. And that's gonna sit on there like that. There we go. So that's seated nicely in there. Let's get our spring cap cleaned off. Again, is a 010 or a 10, so we're going to swap that out. Captured spring back in there, and then drop it in over the post. But not before we lube it. Again with the 5/30 seconds. Excellent. So the top portion is rebuilt. Let's get to the lower portion. We have got another number 10 in here. 010. Going to drive our adjuster all the way out. So the adjuster is a little harder to get at. There is a tiny, you can see right there, tiny set of little C-clip in there. Look, I was gentle with that and even bent the C-clip out of shape. So that's your access to your adjuster. 5/30 seconds. Oh, can you drive this all the way out this way? Yeah, so C-clip comes off. Ooh, there's even debris in there. I don't know what that's from. So there's a little filter in there, and then you got your actual portion that butts up against the piston. So it meets like that. That's how it seals. So we're gonna clean this off. Replace the 006 O-rings in there. And relube. Reinsert this. Remember, it's lefty tighty, righty loosey for these adjusters. I'm just gonna send that in there till it bottoms out. That way it should be at 0 when it starts up again. We replaced that guy already. And that's outside O-ring on the adjuster. The adjuster housing, excuse me. Say 014. factory assembly soon. Your main piston O-ring is a 014 as well. These seats aren't terrible. I don't have any to replace right at the moment, so I'm just going to leave it there. But in the future, or before I sell these, I would replace them. So urethane 014. Buna can also be used. It's not the end of the world, especially if you're only running compressed air. If you're running CO2, you will want to use Buna. So you're going to want to lube this portion of the piston, put your spring on, seat this in here, find this the easiest way to do it, and then lube your piston O-ring. I am using my last bit of lurker lube. Dow 33 is perfectly fine. So now that that's all back together, we're going to reinsert this into our housing here. Gently. Tighten this back on. They put flats on here. That does not mean to wrench it tight. That means to make it snug. And that's it. I'm going to rebuild our lower portion here. The swivel. Ooh, those are dry. Those are 014s as well. They feel like 90s. 70s will work just fine. It all depends on how well you take care of your stuff. If you like lubing it and you like cleaning it, you like taking it apart, 70s will work almost anywhere. And Bunas will work almost anywhere. So I'm just cleaning up this lower portion. Pretty nasty in there. Got our new 90s, 14s. Slide those in. Yes, like snap into place. We're going to put a little bit of lube there. A little bit right there. But the majority is going to go on this piece. So it takes it up as we slide this on. Gently. There we go. Excellent. That should swivel nicely. We're going to reattach our C-clip on the outside. Tool here. Don't overstretch it. Just enough to get it over. And then if you really want to, you can stick the C-clip back in. This is so you don't back it all the way out while you're adjusting it. It's smart to have in there. Maybe we can figure out an easier way to do this. Just gonna try shoving it in there. A piece of macro line. Oh, hey, that worked really well. So get yourself a piece of macroline, set it in there, and seat it away. That's if you didn't damage it too much going on the outside. So there's a 015 on the top, and that concludes eNMEy GoG eNMEy Regulator Service, both versions 1 and 2. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If this helped you out, feel free to subscribe. and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.